Hello everyone, you are on the Player Review channel. In this video, we will talk about 3 newly released cards. First, we will compare Justin Kluivert and Morgan Rogers, as well as discuss his second version. Plus, we will explain which one we would choose between Kluivert and Rogers and why. After that, we will cover the legendary Andrea Pirlo, who definitely deserves your attention. Moreover, we will compare him with a number of alternatives, so stay tuned. It's going to be interesting. Let's go in order of release, which means Justin Kluivert will be first. His SBC costs approximately 200,000 coins. Kluivert Jr. has a medium body type, 171 centimeters in height, an explosive or mostly explosive acceleration type, and 4+4 in skill moves and weak foot. For chemistry style, we recommend Maestro or Marksman. He has finesse shot, power shot plus, pinged pass plus, technical, rapid, and flair. In roles, he has inside forward ++ for left midfielder, as well as wide playmaker and playmaker ++ for cam. Additionally, he has shadow striker plus, which is also useful. To start, Justin is very good both in sprint speed and long distance running, so if you're thinking about using him as an inside forward, you won't go wrong. His speed boost is solid, as seen in this example, where he makes a sharp run and leaves defenders behind. He also has a strong physical presence, which is crucial for maintaining control when sprinting. This helps with speed boost because it protects him from shoulder challenges when fighting for the ball, at least against smaller players. His strength also helps in duels, as seen in this play against Carlos Alberto. His reaction time is also solid, noticeable in the speed of his animations. Here's another moment. After making a deep run, he receives a not-so-perfect pass in a tight duel, but holds off pressure and finishes with his left foot to the far post. Kluivert Jr. impressed us as both an inside forward and a playmaker at cam. Again, you can also use him as a shadow striker, given his pace and powerful shooting, which helps him consistently beat goalkeepers. Speaking of shot power, it's also useful for long-range shots. His Trivela shots consistently find the net from outside the box, making him a strong option at cam. His main weapon, however, is his Power Shot Plus. While power shots aren't as overpowered as they were earlier in the game cycle, they remain an effective way to score goals, especially if you use precision shooting settings and already know where you're aiming. To be honest, Kluivert would be a great right cam in a 4-3-2-1 or even a 4-2-3-1, mainly because of his right foot, Trivela, and power shots. Just take a look at this rocket to the far post. That said, you can still use him on the left side, especially with precision shooting enabled. His silver finesse shot and great stats allow him to hit these long-range curlers without even entering the penalty area. Again, this is where technical is useful, as it helps dribble past defenders while setting up a better shooting angle. His ping pass plus might seem less effective than incisive pass, but it's still useful for strikers, even considering that most already have first touch plus. Some players even prefer pinged passes over through balls. However, he does lack incisive pass, which results in some misplaced passes and turnovers. On the bright side, Kluivert is agile on the left stick. He's really good at dribbling and has fast, sharp animations, unlike the next player we'll discuss. To be honest, we preferred Kluivert over Rogers precisely because of his left stick control, so if we had to pick one, we'd go with Justin, especially considering his rating and potential for future evolutions. However, Rogers is also an excellent choice and definitely worth considering. We give Justin Kluivert an 8.9 rating for card quality and remind you that detailed ratings will be available tomorrow on our Twitter. For SBC cost, the card gets a 9 rating. So, Morgan Rogers has a similar price tag but is available in 2 versions, with the one featuring technical appearing to be the better option. The Englishman has a tall body type, standing at 188 centimeters, with a controlled lengthy acceleration type and 4+4 stars for skills and weak foot. For chemistry style, we recommend Hawk or Engine. Notable playstyles include Finesse Plus, Incisive and Long Ball Pass, Whipped Pass, Press Proven, First Touch, Flair, Technical Plus, Quick Step and Relentless. He has the same positions as Kluivert, but with the added left winger role, while for the cam position, he only has Playmaker ++. Let's start with the fact that Morgan is faster than Justin, not due to speed boost, but rather because of his long legs and of course the lengthy acceleration type. That said, he still has a speed boost and it's clearly not worse than Kluivert's. Combined with lengthy, this allows for effortless breaks towards the opponent's goal. Moreover, he has a larger frame, making him stronger, so even Walker struggles to handle him on the wing. And it's just as tough for big center backs who simply cannot overpower Morgan, no matter how hard they try. This often leads to one-on-one situations, as Rogers easily bursts away thanks to his lengthy pace, and then his powerful frame ensures that defenders can't stop him. The Englishman can charge down the wing in the style of Gareth Bale. Of course, Bale is still faster, but the comparison is definitely fitting, especially when you see this wing run followed by a finesse shot. Again, you can send unprepared passes into duels, because Rogers often wins races, whether through speed or sheer strength. Morgan looks great not just on the wing, but also as a cam. And even when playing wide as a playmaker, he still drifts inside like an inside forward when needed. Regarding shooting, he lacks some long shot stats compared to Kluivert, but inside the box, he's perfectly reliable, including direct shots with his left. That said, his left foot still feels like a 4-star even with the precision setting, so we recommend positioning for right-footed shots whenever possible, or more frequently using long-range trivela with timed finishing in any suitable situation. As you can see, it works exceptionally well. Of course, his left stick movement is a weak point, so it's better to use L1 or, better yet, R1. This is exactly why we switched Rogers to engine. And yes, if you also use precision, don't be afraid to apply engine, as this setting improves finesse shots, including long-range ones without needing boosted long shots, like in this example. Either way, R1 dribbling is the best way to increase maneuverability or position for a finesse shot. Moving to final thoughts, we'll reiterate that left stick dribbling is an issue, but it's not critical, unlike his other version, which will feel noticeably heavier despite the useful trickster. Yes, it will be just as fast over distance, but it won't have the same explosive burst. So if you're choosing one, go for our version. Because, despite its limitations, it turned out more agile than we originally expected, although still noticeably clunkier than Kluivert, which makes sense given Justin is significantly smaller. That said, while Kluivert was more enjoyable, Rogers is still a solid choice, especially when considering his price. Honestly, we see them together in a 4-3-2-1 or 4-2-3-1, where Kluivert plays on the right for power shots and Rogers on the left for finesse shots. However, as previously mentioned, if you can only choose one, Kluivert is the better pick, especially since he has a lower rating, meaning he's eligible for upcoming evolutions. That said, based on overall factors, Rogers receives a higher rating of 9.1 for card quality, and remind you that detailed ratings will appear in our Twitter tomorrow. The card gets a 9 for SBC value. As you know, in EAFC 25, the rewards for the Weekend League are awesome, which means that the game has become much harder to play. Our boosters will help you to get the best rewards. Write in, because the number of spots is limited, and don't forget that we also sell coins at a cheap price. All links in the description. Now it's time for a legend, who, as you might have already guessed, has joined our squad. That's because a 500k SBC price was too good to pass up for a card of this quality. But just how good is he? Let's find out. Pirlo has a lean body type, standing at 177 centimeters, with a controlled acceleration type and 5+4 stars for skills and weak foot. For playstyle, we recommend Shadow or Engine. Notable playstyles include Dead Ball Plus and Long Ball Plus, Pinged Pass, Incisive Pass, Flair, First Touch, Press Proven, and the much needed Quick Step. In terms of roles, we highlight Deep Lying Playmaker for both CDM and CM, as well as Playmaker++. First and foremost, it's important to highlight his solid speed and acceleration in defense. However, you must always manually trigger tackles, as he lacks strength and aggression altogether. This means you should avoid duels against strong opponents in attack, as Pirlo gets pushed off the ball quite easily. That said, he's far from useless in defense. For example, in this instance, he reads the play well, tracks back in time, and intercepts the ball. And speaking of interceptions, despite not having any defensive playstyles, his interceptions still feel solid at a baseline level, almost as if he had silver intercept. Of course, the ball can sometimes bounce away, but in our entire play session, this only happened once. In most cases, he managed to intercept even strong passes comfortably, even while sprinting, which technically should be avoided. This isn't just down to his high defensive stats, but also his excellent ball control, which often helps him recover strong passes. He processes difficult balls quickly, but you have to position him correctly since his legs aren't long enough to reach misplaced passes. However, Pirlo is far more useful in attack, thanks to his solid agility, 5-star skill moves, and his powerful long shots. All of these attributes are crucial for a deep-lying playmaker or a CM playmaker, where he pushes high up the pitch, essentially acting as an extra attacker. Back to his long shots, we should note that Trivela is just as effective as with the previous players in this review. Moreover, precision shooting settings work wonders, allowing clean finesse shots even without the playstyle. The key is simply having solid long shots and shot power stats. That said, his biggest strength is passing, and we're not just talking about golden long ball, but any type of pass. Pirlo's reaction speed is incredible, allowing him to release passes instantly even under pressure. For example, look at the speed of this one-touch pass with his weak foot. However, sometimes he lacks tiki-taka, as seen in this example where a ping pass flies out of bounds. Either way, Pirlo's defining attribute is his golden long ball, and to be honest, we don't use them regularly enough to maximize their potential. But they are useful not only for lofted through balls, but also for soft crosses into the box, even with his weak foot, as shown in this clip. And of course, let's not forget that Pirlo was always a set-piece master, which will be appreciated by those who love direct free kicks. Final verdict. At 500,000 fodder, this is an amazing value SBC. In fact, this SBC completely tanked Xabi Alonso's market value. That being said, Alonso is also a solid option, but he's much heavier on the left stick and, again, doesn't have 5-star skill moves. However, his interceptions feel just as strong, and he's more physically dominant, meaning he can shield off attackers more effectively. Overall, if you already have Xabi untradeable, there's no real need to replace him with Pirlo. Instead, you could play them together, forming a great duo of deep-lying playmakers. If you've already completed Kimmich, then Pirlo probably won't add much to your squad either, unless you pair them. But if you're deciding who to complete right now, then Pirlo is the better value option. Yes, Kimmich is objectively the better player, especially as a deep-lying playmaker, but he's also 4 times more expensive. Pedri is also a fantastic option. In fact, he's even more agile than Pirlo. However, his finishing is noticeably weaker. That said, if you're using Pedri as a deep-lying playmaker and don't rely on his shooting, then there's no real reason to replace him with Pirlo. Mason Mount also has a decent card, especially as a CM playmaker. For his price, he performs well, but in this case, we would definitely take Pirlo over Mount, even with the cost difference. Finally, let's mention Abili, another CM playmaker, or even Cam. In an ideal scenario, you shouldn't replace her, but if you didn't complete Abili, then Pirlo is a great alternative. Or you can use them together, especially if you have a strong defensive CDM like Vieira. And we almost forgot Zidane. Well, he's definitely not worth changing, but you can do the same as with Abili, meaning pair Pirlo with him, especially with a good CDM. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to catch all our reviews and comparisons promptly. So, we give Andrea Pirlo a rating of 8.8 for card quality and remind you that detailed ratings will appear in our Twitter tomorrow. In terms of SBC value, the card receives a 9.5. Thanks for watching until the end and see you in the next video.